Hello and welcome to this tutorial where I will show you how I use balsa wood on my bases. Recently started experimenting with this material on bases and I'm quite happy with the results. It's really down to scale when you use it for bases for 28 to 32 millimeter. It's really easy to texture it, and that's something I want to show you today. So the most recent miniature I used this technique on is dark flat. You see here these wooden beams. Here they're actually made of balsa wood. This is the base I'm currently working on. This is just an example to show you that wood is not only cannot only be used on fantasy bases, but also on post-apocalyptic bases or science fiction bases like this one. So here I used a fine mesh with some balsa wood on top. So yeah, and I'm going to show you how I achieve a texture like this. I currently have these two types of balsa wood, so the thin sheet-like wood, and then this bigger piece of wood. Actually, you can use both to achieve an effect. On dark flat I used this wood, and I just cut strips from it and then textured it. But for the example I'm going to give you, I'm going to use this thicker wood. So here's the base that I'm going to glue some wood on. So first step is to cut a piece that's about as wide as the base, like this. There's probably some other type of knife that's more better usable for this, but I prefer this hobby knife. There we go. Now the cut isn't entirely clear, but that's not really a problem. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut thin slices of this wood, like this. You can make some thick ones or thin ones, doesn't really matter. It also doesn't matter if one is thicker on one side and thin on another side. It's not really a problem for the thing I'm going to show you. So just pick out a nice piece like this one. I think this one is fine. So now I'm going to, because of course you can glue down a piece like this on a base, but there's a bit of texture in there, but it will still look like a piece of wood that you've cut from a bigger piece of balsa. Now how I achieve the texturing is with a tool like this, like a dentist tool or something, or just some sharp metal tool, and I just start scratching the surface like this, softly at first. And the other side. So now we can already see a bit of texture coming on there. So I'm just going to repeat this. And after a while you can see there are bits of wood coming off this larger piece. Now you want to stop about here, because if I go any further I'm really cutting through the wood and it's going to splinter apart. Then we still have this side that's a bit ugly. I'm going to tear that off. So you just want to have a piece of wood that looks as natural as possible. You can do this with your fingernails or with a tool. And this side as well, like this, just like this. So it's already quite a nice piece of wood. And then maybe if you want to make it more realistic, you can tear this in two. Put it down like this. I'm going to take another piece and repeat it. Another nice effect that you can achieve is making the wood looks like it's a bit bent, and it's very easy with a thin piece like this. You can simply press on it and give it a slight bend. I'm going to do the same with the other pieces here. Of course, the only limit here is your imagination. You can, like I did with dark flat, put some wood upright, mount it on other pieces of wood, make a lot of thin straps like this. Yeah, gluing down is very easy as well, with some wood glue. And the easiest way to apply wood glue to small pieces like this is just use piece of cardboard or something as some kind of palette. I always use wood glue like this, which has some I would call it a tip to easily apply the wood glue. Just put some on here and use an old brush. Put some glue on the bottom. This probably looks a bit rough for a showcase model or something, but I think you get the point. Yeah, you can just cut it a bit finer, like this is really thin. You can do just the same, just be more careful because it splinters and it splits a bit faster. So yeah, just glue it down like this. Of course you can add sand, etc. Maybe you can add something like this on top. Some peat or some really fine splinters like this. It'll look great. Okay, then final step. If you glue it down with wood glue, I always let it dry overnight. Because yeah, it really needs its time to dry. But the bad property of balsa wood, and also good property which makes it easy to work with, is that it's very soft. There's a trick to make it a bit harder. That's to apply some tint wood glue on the wood. Just take a mixing cup like this, put in a bit of wood glue, and I have this empty Lego bottle with water, and about 1 part glue and 1 part or 2 parts water. Mix the wood glue with the water. Yes, it's basically like tint paint almost. Then I'm going to demonstrate this on this base because it still needs this treatment. Just soak it into the watered down wood glue. If you're really going to use balsa wood on bases for gaming, etc., yeah, just be sure that it doesn't like this. It doesn't go over the edges, because if you pick up a miniature like this, then yeah, you're touching the wood and it's quite fragile. Even with a few coats of this, I guess it's still quite fragile. and just let the wood soak up the glue, and then again I let it dry overnight. You can prime this together with the rest of your base, and then you paint it. Okay, so I guess we're done here. I showed you how I use balsa wood on bases. So yeah, just cut thin strips or from a big piece or a thin sheet like this, then texture it with some kind of metal needle-like thing, like this dentist tool, or you can use a needle or something. Then glue it down with PVA glue, and after that's dry you can add additional details and finish it with soak it in tint PVA glue. Okay, I hope this was useful. If you like this video, please comment or press the like video, it really helps. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comment section. And otherwise, see you in the next video. Bye.